Good morning, class.
Good morning.
How are you? My name is Mr. One. My colleague is Kibeli. The teacher is making doing Bachelor of Science with Education in Agriculture and Physical Education. Now I'm going to present this work to you, which is about language development in human growth and development. Now our question is, critically analyze the theories of language development and evaluate issues of the theory. So now we are critically analyzing the language development theories. We shall talk about different scholars who came up with different perspectives or approaches about language development. Now, I will first talk about what is language. Language is a system of communication that involves using words, symbols, or signs to convey meaning. So it means that in language, this is a system of communicating whereby you have to use words like the one I'm talking about. You can use signs, you can use symbols so that you convey the meaning, so that the person you are talking to is understanding what you are talking about. And now, when we talk about language development, this is how individuals acquire languages or different languages in an environment. Now, this language development is a crucial aspect of human cognitive and social interaction, and several theories have been proposed to explain how individuals acquire language, and each offering a distinctive perspective. The major theories include behaviorism. We have behaviorist theory. We have cognitive theory. We have social interaction theory. We have cognitionist theory, and some others like emergentist and so forth. Now, for me, I will take you through behaviorist theory. Behaviorist theory, this one was raised by a man called D.F. Skinner. D.F. Skinner, 1957. So this man called D.F. Skinner, he came up with a language development theory, which we are calling behaviorist theory, in 1957. For him, he talked, according to him, he said that language acquisition occurs through operant conditioning. Operant conditioning, this is someone can associate the language with its consequences. So how the language is being associated with its consequences, the results. Now, according to him, he talked about that individuals can acquire language through associating. Now, children learn language through imitation, whereby these children they imitate their parents. You can speak, or you are the parent, you speak, then the child can imitate what you have spoken, and they get to know that word. Whenever you speak and they imitate, they also get to know the language and the other some words, whereby they can imitate. Then for you, you as a parent, you have to reinforce. That is reinforcement, and you develop, or you help that child to develop the language very well, also so that they become perfect in speaking what they imitate. Now, parents and caregivers reinforce correct speech, shaping the child's linguistic development. As I said earlier on, that you are the parent. Now you have spoken a word, your child has imitated what you have spoken. If she or he speaks it wrongly, you have to come up and you make her or him correct that this one, so that you shape him on the right word or the right thing. Now this theory have its evaluation. It has been evaluated, or it was evaluated by B.F. Skinner in two ways. Evaluation, it is like giving the strength and the weakness. So this theory was also given, or has its strength. Its strength. Under strength, we have empirical basis, whereby the behavioristic approach relies on observable behavior and has been supported by experiments demonstrating the role of reinforcement in learning. Meaning that this one, what we are talking about, that it is an empirical basis. Empirical basis. That this approach relies on observing. Now here, the child observes by him or herself. Physically they observe, then they imitate. After imitating, they speak what it seems that it is right, yet it is not. Then there is practical application, because practical is practical. Practical application. Under this, that these techniques derived from behaviorism, such as operant conditioning, like operant conditioning. This one involves the use of storytelling and even drama. That is conditioning, operant conditioning. That in what you tell the child, when you are maybe you are there with your children, you tell them stories and even drama. For them, they pick in what you are told them, and they develop the different words in that particular language. Now, these have been effectively used in educational settings to promote language learning. Also, there are books, like there are books we used for us. We used to read about these books of Longman. Yeah, they had stories. Another Strength is highlights the role of the environment in language development. This one, behaviors. Since it develops the behavior, you observe. Now it develops or it portrays the role of the language development in the what? In the
Good morning, members.
Good morning.
My name is Kenneth, and I'm going to proceed from where the previous speaker has stopped. My major point I'm going to be that with the nativist theory. Nativist theory. Yeah, this theory was brought on board by a philosopher called Naomi Chomsky in 1959. Nativist theory. This is by Naomi Chomsky in 1959. Now this theory, as we have heard from the word nativist, meaning it deals with innate. This is the innate hypothesis theory. This is the innate hypothesis theory. Now, what does this theory deal with? This is nativist theory. This theory, it tells us that children, they learn language at birth, innate from birth. That language is hardwired into children at birth. At birth, which is where these children learn language. How do they learn language? There's something we call LAD. There's something we call LAD, which is language acquisition device. This is the concept that helps these children to learn language rapidly immediately they are born. You realize that children, the speed with which these children learn language is very high. Even if you can tell, even if they are not in position to speak at that young age, but you can tell them something and they respond to it. You get that? Now, this theory emphasizes that this theory, it has its evaluation. It has its evaluation. The things that went well with this theory and the things that did not go as expected. Under evaluation, we have what we call the strengths, and we have what we call the weaknesses. We have what we call the strength and the weaknesses. Under the strengths, we have universal grammar. We have what we call universal grammar. Under the strength, we have what we call universal grammar. Now, universal grammar, this explains the similarities across all languages. So, for example, let me take an example of the Bantu speaking languages. You realize that in these Bantu languages, there are some things which are similar. The things, some concepts cut across all these languages. That is what we call universal grammar. Even if someone is not of that tribe or that language, he can at least speak a leaf in some of the other language. That is what we call universal grammar. So this nativist theory emphasizes something we call universal grammar. Universal grammar meaning the similarities across all languages. You get? Then we also have what we call it accounts for the ability to generate novel sentences. It accounts for the ability to generate novel sentences. Now, the ability to generate these novel sentences is what we call the syntax. Syntax. The ability for you to generate this, like how can you contract syntax?
Syntax.
Okay. It's also the pronunciation depends from the written example. So, okay, now syntax. This is the ability for you to construct a meaningful sentence from these simple words. How can I construct a sentence to portray meaning with these simple words? That's what we call ability to generate novel sentences. Now, It also another difference. It also explains why children learn language quickly with the limited exposure. It explains why children are able to learn languages quickly with a limited exposure. How are these children able to learn languages with a limited exposure? You may find that in some homesteads, the parent maybe he breastfeeds the kid in the morning and the parent goes to work. He leaves the kid with the maid. So the kid is only exposed to only language from the what? From the maid, or it's only the maid who speaks to that kid. But how is this kid able to learn that language as fast as he can? It is because of what we call lag. Remember in my introduction I told you what we call that. This is called language acquisition what? Device. This is the one which helps these children to learn languages. Anything they hear, anything they feel very quickly. You get that? Then we also have under the strength also. Can also look at it is supported by studies on critical periods for language. It's supported by studies on critical periods for language acquisition. It's supported by studies on critical periods for language acquisition. Now, the critical periods for language acquisition, normally, as I told you, this theory deals with when you are born, how are you able to understand, how are you able to learn a language. Now, one of the critical periods here, we are looking at this young stage of these children. When a children is young, you know that period is not easy, but these kids, they easily learn a language during this period compared to when you grow up. Because the innate language, the language you learn when in the place of birth, it is very hard for you to forget, and it is very easy for you to learn that language when you are still young compared to when you are old. Then we also had, and under the strength we also had universal grammar. Universal grammar, I can explain it on the concept of alphabet. Realize that, say for example, these local languages of ours, all of us, you find that we employ almost the similar alphabet, A, B, C, D, to what? To compile words, to form words. That's
Good morning.
I'm Evans, being BSc Maths Chemistry. I'm going to take you through the term theory and which is cognitive theory. In 1950, as we also know, as none of us know about that in theory, and it was brought by what? By pianists. This like that?
You remove the end.
It's pianists. 1952. So according to Piaget, he suggested that language development is closely linked with cognitive development, and he proposed that children must first build perceptual language, perceptual understanding before acquiring the conceptual understanding before acquiring the language. So what we need is when we say conceptual understanding, is like for someone to understand the language. He said that for the children to understand the language, they have to first understand the concept of the language before they can also speak it. So that's according to behind it. And we also say okay, he said that for me to speak this example for understand for someone to understand the language, he has to first understand the concept of something that I talked about for how he to understand that language. So according to this theory, it has also some strength and what and some weaknesses. So according to the theory, it has some strengths whereby it says that the strength of this theory is that the theory can explain the relationship between thought and what and the language. It can express the thought and the language. It's like it can explain the relationship between someone's thought and the language. Okay, it's like what you can think and say about what and talk about what I've thought about it, about the concept I'm talking about. Another thing is that it can explain it can help to understand the language of the children. As we know that human behavior or human nature is as a result of nature and what? Human behavior or nature is as a result of nature and what? And nature factors. Is that for someone to be brought up in a way you see, okay, for me the way you see me, like I'm it depends on the way on his factors, nature and nature. So for someone to understand, that's why the theory explains why someone appears the way you see he or she, depending on what? On the environment or the relative what? Okay, someone wanted me to discuss these two words. Which one of the two is what? Is the environmental and which one is the genetic factor? This one is the environmental. This one is
Nature is
okay. Any is what?
Any is genetic. Biological.
Genetic.
Then nature is a biological how you what?
Nature.
How you are natural.
Good afternoon.
Yes. So we are going to look at the social interactionist theory. meaning it deals with the social interaction. When we talk about social interaction, we mean like how you talk, communicate with people in your daily life, how you keep with an environment where people are doing what? Where people are interacting. That's what this theory is basically all about. Allow me just read for you something little to understand it more. They said, Levi-Vygotsky emphasizes the role of social interaction in language learning. He argues that language develops through social engagement, practically within the zone of proximal development. What we also put in short as ZPD, zone of proximal development, meaning like that environment where somebody needs assistance or where somebody can do things on their own. Because language is something that is complex, not simply something simple, especially when it comes to the young ones at that age when they are just developing. You find out that children can't learn language on their own, but at times they need assistance from others. And this is what he says that interaction in learning language is so important. He carries on and says, where children learn with the help of more knowledgeable others. When he says more knowledgeable others, he means people who already speak, people who are already talking, meaning they already know how language moves on when it's being produced. So, this theory, just like any other theory, has its evaluations, and under the evaluations, we are going to start with its strength. So the first one we are looking at is emphasis on context. Under emphasis on context, allow me just read you something little, then I explain it to you. This theory highlights the importance of social interaction and communication in language development, recognizing that language is a social tool. Here, they say that the context under which somebody learns the language is so important because they have said that language is a social tool, meaning language is something that you can't do without. If at all we are looking at social interaction, you understand that for anybody to interact with another, there must be language. Be it, maybe you're using language under spoken, like we are looking at it here, or you're looking at language as signing, because there is also signing as a means of communication, and it's still language. That's why they call it sign language. There is also gesture. Meaning with all this, still language is working as a social tool. So language is necessary for social interaction. Then the next point we have is under the strength of this theory is pragmatic understanding. So when we talk about anything, pragmatic means practical. That language is practical in nature. There is no way you can learn a language if you're not practicing it. That's what this theory is concentrating about. You find out that if you look into the young children that we are already keeping with, you find out they will start murmuring words according to what you're also telling them. And the more they practice it, is the more they will clear up their speech. A child can start with a word. Let me say maybe a child, you tell the child mama, the child will tell you ma, just that, but the child is trying to drive to mama. So the more they keep on practicing this, you will find out that with time they will go clearing. You will find out that the word that started with ma now is mom, then you will find mama. And like that's the way the language goes on clearing to that point where now the person can communicate effectively. So that's what they mean by pragmatic understanding. Still under strength, we also have another strength which is
Good afternoon.
How are you?
Yeah, good.
My name is Anthony Foba. I'm going to teach you the fifth part of the theory, and I'm going to talk about this theory. Now, when you look at this theory, this person was fully talking about what you know. He proposed that language is developed through the interaction between we have that the children or the child himself or herself, then we have the environment, we have the victim, and then lastly we have the social ability. Now, on this point here, the language that a child develops is between the environment, it is between the cognitive development, and now when we talk about the cognitive, in this one we talk about the brain. How someone captures the information, how someone understands about the given point. Then we have the social ability. How is this person here able to associate with the friends? How is this person here able to associate with others in an environment? How? Because when I used to grow up, I had my little sister. That when I could go to school, the mother told me to carry her, check where that also that like the children of the same age. So that now, what did she say so is because she wanted this lady or this girl to learn how to associate with others, which is sociability. Then under this we have stages. Under this theory we have the stages of this theory. One of this theory, this one here is symbolic language. What does it talk about? It talks about this person here learns this language through symbols. Where maybe you may get such a pen, you say, what is this? You tell a pen, then you say, this is a pen. You know, this person is learning through the symbolic what? Language. Then we have what's known as the linguistic language. This one here learns this language through the friends also, with the people that he associates with. Because of time, I'm going to go first. Then we go to evolution. Now, when you talk about evolution, so it means you are going to weigh how is this theory important, all the strengths and the weakness. Now, when you talk about the strengths here, one, it is the thematic and affective. What does it talk about? This one is the theory, acknowledging that language involvement is dynamic an active process. So which means this one here does not only depend on one thing, but it means that different languages or different things that are learned through this process. Then we have, it is child-centered. So when you talk about the child-centered, so which means this one here, they learn through themselves. For example, children at school, baby class, so we find out they learn these languages between themselves, how they can associate, how they can talk, how they can interact with others. We have another one, it supports the individual differences. How? Now, when you look at this one, that theory acknowledges that children develop languages at different lengths in different ways. Allow me go to weakness. Weaknesses. One of the weaknesses, it lacks clear prediction. Lacks clear prediction. How does it come out?
Okay, good afternoon, members.
Good afternoon.
I'm called Busho Delton. I'm going to talk about the point of this is connection theory, which this man called Mark. He was called Mark. In 1986. So briefly, we want to define this now. This guy talked he stated that this theory suggests that language acquisition occurs through neural networks that processes linguistic input instead of an innate language acquisition device. Alright, briefly, let me just talk of two words here. Due to time interest, I would like to talk about the word linguistic input. Linguistic input this is a language data for people to explore as they learn. Think of it like your mother tongue. As you grow, you start now exploring as you learn that mother tongue of yours. Then unborn, innate language. It simply means inborn child. Meaning this child is not able to learn anything. Is not yet able to come out and start learning. And then now, let us evaluate. Evaluation meaning let us judge briefly about the connectionist. So, briefly, let us talk about strengths of it before we can talk of the weakness. One point that this man gave us was supported by neuroscientific research on brain plasticity and neural networks. Now, what it means by neuro? Let us first understand what it means by the word neuro. Neuro means these are nervous systems that enables us to send the message so that we think, we talk, or other capabilities that we do. Okay, like this word states that it refers to psychological and then cognitive and then mental, in form of mental process and then neural networks. So now, another point is it explains how children learn regular verbs and grammatic patterns without explicit teaching. Meaning that without a clear teaching, these children or little kids are able to learn without someone teaching them. Another point is account for gradual learning rather than sudden acquisition, meaning that they take some time to learn something before, rather than just a sudden. It's like sudden means all over a sudden, then you are able to do something. And another one is flexibility and ability.
My name is Doris and I'm doing BCE. And the theory I'm looking at is according to Hayes and many other writers. It was not him alone, but it was Hayes and many other writers. And the theory according to him is relational frame theory. That is what I'm looking at. So this theory argues that language learning occurs through relational associations. It's not simply from words, not just words. You may speak, but someone may not get exactly what you say. And you may also just do something, maybe like an action, and someone may not get what you say. But for someone to understand that language, or even what the language is implying, you need to relate what you're saying. You can also bring out an explanation using examples, physical, not only just speaking. For someone to get what you're trying to say, okay, it's relating. That is what we should know. It is simply relating, you relate the concept. You don't just speak, you don't just give the practical stuff and someone can't understand. But you have to give the explanation, you relate it, and someone can get you better what you say. So, it also involves the interaction between the stimuli, events, and concepts. That is what I just said. And this theory also enables us to make students. Okay, I'll give you an example. You're a teacher. We are all teachers. But now you're in your class, you're teaching children, let me say children, students. You're teaching students and you're like big, big and small. Those are the concepts now here, big and small. But now if you say big and small, someone will be like, oh, but big. Okay, let me use a child. A child will say, how does this big thing look like? You're not giving them an example. But if you come in that class and you brought a big ball and a small one, then you're like, this one is small and this one is big. But when the examples are there, remember they are looking at them physically. They will get it in their mind that, hey, the small one is in this shape and it can be like this, but the big one is big. Indeed, it's big. It can't just be small, but the big one is big and the small one is small. They simply get the concept, what you're trying to say. They understand it. Then also, I'll continue with the evaluation of this theory. The evaluation of this theory here, I'll look at the weakness, the strength and weaknesses of this theory. What this theory focuses on that makes people get to understand the language. This theory, I will start with the strengths. On the strengths, we get to know that this theory explains semantic relations and abstract thinking. What do I mean by the semantic relation and abstract thinking. The semantic relation is that connection, that connectedness of those words. Okay, the concepts, the ideas you're bringing out, how are they connected? How are these people getting it? The connectedness of those words is what they mean here by the semantic relationships. Then the abstract thinking. We don't only think about things that are tangible, but we also bring them in the physical form for these people to understand. We don't only think in the things we see, but we even think beyond what we are seeing. That is the abstract thinking. So that is what this theory brings to us. Then another one is that it accounts for complex linguistic behaviors and like metaphors and irony. You people, I guess you all understand what the metaphors are and what the irony is, but still I can give the examples. The metaphors, you can bring out a metaphor like time is a thief. Yeah? I can tell you, Anthony, time is a thief. Time is a thief, I mean, the concept that I'm bringing that time is a thief, I'm not bringing it that it is still maybe someone.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
I'm Nicholas Namede, UKE. I'm going to take you through another theory, which is statistical learning. This one was initiated by Safran in the 1966. So, let me first suggest that infants detect patterns in speech input and use probability to predict word boundaries in grammar. This references learning through exposure and intimate mechanism. Now, the kid is saying that infants, children, especially young kids, they learn languages or words within the language. Most of the time through practice, like they see, they can listen to what another person is speaking, and like after some time they will try it out through predictions, like this word is like this, like how, like, for example, this is how a book is pronounced and this is how a share is pronounced. So they use predictions and probabilities, but it is carried out through exposure to different people. So as you speak, they also come to understand, and after some time they try it out. Let me write. This is the statistical learning theory. So it was initiated by the scholar called Safran in the 1996. So point is that most of the time is about exposure of these learners. They are exposed to the languages and they how they understand it, and after they try out through predictions, how is this word pronounced or is the other pronounced. So after over time, they understand that language. Let me look at the strength of the theory. One is supported by experiments. It is supported by experiments. So, as I'm saying, experiment is about exposure. Like, as you're doing something, like, you're doing something before this infant, like before this young child, she'll see doing something where you're talking like, if I can set an example, we say we are cooking with this child. You understand that, so if I get a saucepan, put it on a stove, that is called cooking. We are bathing, so if I get water on myself, That process is called labeling. So it's through experiments that these learners they do get experiment, they learn, they get experience in this language. So in other words, it explains how children segment words. Explains. Another explain how learners segment words.
I'm called a paid question, and I will continue and I'll take you through this thing called industrial theory, being brought up by Gobalist in 2002. Whereby this guy called Gobalist, he emphasized that human language is evolved from manual gesture rather than vocal sound. Whereby he emphasized that we can communicate through one another or a group of people, not only by talking verbally, but we can also use our body. For example, like if I wanted to call it, I will not like say call it, I will not bring out the sound, I will just use my body. For example, I can use the hand, I just say, and automatically Collins will realize that Michelle is calling me, so he will respond mostly. Then I'll go to the evaluation or the whereby I will look at the strengths and weaknesses of this theory. I'll start with the strength. The first one is saying that this theory is supported by comparative studies. Now here it says that this theory of gastro is supported by comparative studies, whereby many scholars they came up with their different ideas, and at the end of the day they say that this theory can work in what? This theory at the end of the day it can also work in communication. Then the next one is it explains the role of motor skill in early language evaluation. Now, here when we talk about motor skill, we emphasize that we can use our body parts to communicate. For example, we can use the lips, we can use the hand, we can use just our face, just me looking at my face. You can interpret my mood at the moment. For example, if I'm sad, you can interpret that she's looking gloomy at the moment. Then the next one, it accounts for gesture-based communication in early childhood. Now here he emphasizes that this gestural theory it accounts for gesture-based communication mainly to infants and these young kids, because for them they cannot they cannot manage to talk verbally. Now they use gesture-based. For example, if you just keep your hands to a baby, he or she will realize that someone needs me. Yeah, use sign language. Then we go to the what? The weaknesses.
My name is Gamba. Sembani, and I'm going to take you through the data-based theory. It is the usage-based theory discovered by a man called Michael. Usage-based theory discovered in 2003 by Michael Thomas. And this man here said that this theory, here a child or children can learn a certain language through social communication rather than an intimate connection, in a way that if children are left to go and discuss freely in a certain environment, for he or she, the acquiring rate is like 80% rather than these ones which are being kept in a separate place from others. And he went on and said that grammar emerges from repeated patterns in speech, whereby if we speak or we sing a song here, today, tomorrow, and the following day, when we're in a certain group, people who attended that certain meeting will be able to understand more and acquire that certain language which we used to sing that specific song. And this theory has evaluations which are both positive and negative, as I'm going to explain. We start with the strengths. Here it says, explains the role of social cognition and pragmatics in language. In other words, pragmatics means practical. Here, when people are in a certain collection, maybe playing, discussing, or singing, the rate of acquiring a certain language, mastering it very well, the rate is high rather than those ones who isolate themselves, go and do other things on their own. In other words, our first point, social cognition. And the second point is accounts for individual differences in language learning. Here, it might be, for example, in a class where we have Baganda, Masoka, Intesos, and others. But since we are together, I can be capable of understanding that a certain conversation which is in Masoka or Inteso, just because I'm within that group of people for several days. And even apart from Masoka, others, like the Intesos, Baganda, I can master it quickly simply because I'm within them. It's like I'm not segregated or isolated, but whenever they speak or they do any kind of activity, I'm within them. So that makes me master their language easily. So the third point is supported by research on child-directed speech and early syntax formation. We all have discussed my favorite that syntax is the way how we pronounce words. So here, it also syntax formation. It also paves me a way for how it paves me a way in how to pronounce certain words which I'm not familiar to, and by doing so, my acquiring rate will be high, making me possible to speak or master a certain language which is foreign to me. The weakness part we have. Here, he started and said that does not address universal linguistic structures found in all languages. Now, here, the universal linguistic structure, it's like.
Okay, thank you for listening. That has been our presentation for Group 9, Human Growth and Development. Thank you for listening. I wish you the best.